Well, hello, I'm Randy Phillips. I'm so thankful you've joined us on Backstage with Randy Phillips. It's called Backstage with Randy Phillips because we know what goes on the front of the stage. This is where we go behind the curtain and learn all the good stuff. I'm so thrilled that you've joined me. If you haven't subscribed to Backstage with Randy Phillips, subscribe. Give us a great review. I don't want none of those 1, 2, 3-star reviews. Oh, no. You got to give me a 5, and I want you to really, really say some good stuff about us because today's guest is outstanding. Amanda K. Jass, Jass. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Pastor Randy.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an
Did I
honor
get
to
your
be here.
name right? Is it Jass?
It's actually pronounced Joss, but I would say about
Joss.
95%. Yes, it's German, so Joss. About
Joss.
95%, if not
Well,
higher, percentage of people pronounce it
okay.
Joss. So I'll answer.
Okay.
I'll answer
Well,
to it.
I kind of put a Texas spin on it.
Yeah,
Jass. Joss.
yeah.
Joss.
Joss.
Okay.
Yes, yes. You got
What
it
does
good.
the K stand for? Amanda K. Joss.
Christine. Christine.
Christine.
Yeah. And it
Oh,
was just when I came up with my Instagram handle and website, all those things, Amanda Joss was already taken. So
what?
yeah, there are other Josses out there, believe it or not. I
There's
mean, maybe
another
they pronounce
Amanda
it Joss.
Joss?
Yeah.
All right.
There are a handful of us actually.
Well, thank you
So
for joining me. You're important to the world.
hmm.
To the world because you are a creative mind. You're brilliant. You you and I just collaborated on a 30-year project for me. 30
Hmm.
years is a long time, Amanda. You're probably not even 30 years old.
It was a long time. Oh, I'm well over 30.
Oh,
But
are you married? You a single adult? Are you
I am married. My
okay?
husband, yes, my husband Brian and I have been married for almost 14 years, and we have three
Nice.
girls. Yeah,
Three
three girls under,
girls?
yep, 9, 7, and 6.
Oh my
Yeah. So
goodness.
all the emotions, all the
Oh
arts
yeah.
and crafts, and all the girly things over here. So pray for my husband. We're almost
Oh, your
entering
poor
the
husband.
preteen and teen years.
Oh my goodness. So they're
We're
all in school?
yes, yep. All
They're
school
what
age.
grades are they?
So fourth grade, second grade, and first grade.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, they're so much
Um,
fun. I love it. I
oh, I
love
know
this
they
age.
are.
The elementary age is just,
Oh, it's
oh,
fun.
it's my jam. I love it.
All right. Then when you get into teenage years, get back with me. Uh,
Yeah. We'll need some advice. Need some help there,
yeah,
I'm sure.
your knees are gonna be sore from praying.
Right. Already, it's like I can't imagine bigger emotions than we already have at our house.
Oh, Lord. Well, I'm so glad you've joined me today.
Mhm.
You are a writer, an illustrator, a, a ghostwriter. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what is it that Amanda K. Joss does? What do you bring to the table?
So I love creating fun and faith-filled resources, books for kids and their families. I try to, in what I do, bring ultimately the truth, love, and joy of Jesus
Hmm.
into homes, and
Love
doing
that.
that in different kind of fun ways, bringing just laughter
Okay.
and I really enjoy what I get to do. I'm so grateful that
And you're
God
great at
allows
it.
me to do this work.
Yeah, you're great at it. Now, the technology being what it is, are people still reading books?
I think so. From what I hear, yeah.
Yeah, from what I hear.
Yes, yes. People are still reading books.
Okay.
Absolutely. And kids' books, especially. I know with adult books, I mean, audio has become so big. I will admit I am a big fan of audiobooks. Again, having 3 kids and running around,
Hmm.
it's like sometimes I really want to read this book, but I just can't actually find the time to sit down. So it's nice to plug plug it in into my phone or whatever and then listen while I'm doing laundry, all that. But
Yeah.
yes, people are still reading books. They're
Okay.
There's hope for the world.
Now, when did you know you had a gift? What was the tipping point where you said, I think I could do this for a living? Illustrate, create, ghostwrite, those sorts of things. When did you know? Was it early on when you were a kid, or was it later in life where you said, I can do this?
Yeah, well, so when I was a kid, I loved writing and I loved creating art. So I was always in those elementary years writing stories, short stories, poems, things like that. And then, I mean, so even before I was writing, from the time I could hold a crayon in my hand, I was drawing and just enjoying creating the visual art that way. And then throughout elementary school, yeah, really just enjoyed that, loved children's books, loved reading, but a lot of my writing and illustrating work or art skills kind of went dormant once I got into the middle school, high school years. I think it's one of those, like, you get praised for whether it was like math or science or things like that. I had family in the medical field, so
Wow.
I kind of put aside from being involved in some music, not nearly as talented as you, Pastor Randy, in the music
Oh,
world,
I'm sure you
but
are.
enjoying, yeah. So that was kind of my art outlet, I guess, in
Okay.
those years. But when it came to thinking about a potential career, never really considered anything in the arts or writing as a
Okay.
career option. Was looking again like at medical field, or was very interested in neuroscience. So also
Wow.
counseling, therapy, all of that was
My
intriguing to
goodness.
me. And then, but then I went to college and changed my major a bunch of times. I was one of those kids who's like, I have no idea what I want to do. Everything sounds so fun and
Yeah.
interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I'd pick a major and then be like, well, now this sounds so specific. I don't know. Do I want to do this for the rest of my life? I'm not sure. And would change my major again. And finally graduated with my undergrad, knew I'd want to go for more school, probably for something, thinking again, something maybe in the therapies, like occupational therapy, school counseling, something like that. But I didn't know for sure. So I wanted to take some time. So I got a job right out of undergrad working at another college just down the road from the one I went to.
No.
And then realized I loved working with college students. And so I ended up getting my master's in education
Wow.
with a focus in higher and post-secondary ed. But in that time, and in undergrad as well, and in my master's, I did a lot of writing, right? Because it's all sorts of research papers, not a lot of the creative writing, but research. I also did some work and some coursework in curriculum development, and learned I really enjoyed that, kind of this, like, taking
Yeah.
this big puzzle and where do these pieces fit, and then incorporating the writing into that as well.
Mm.
And then my plan, though, was to stay in higher ed, obviously getting my master's in higher ed and things. But after working in higher education for about 5 years, I had been volunteering at our church, which is a multi-campus big church here in Minnesota in the Midwest, and had been volunteering in kids ministry because I always loved kids. I always loved working with kids. I loved child development, learning
Yeah.
about that. And then a job opportunity opened up at my church to write the curriculum and programming.
Really?
We did our own media, and so and weekend curriculum. Yeah. And so
Very
I
cool.
ended up getting that job and got to write the weekend lessons, write screenplays. It was so much fun.
Oh.
I absolutely loved it. But that was
How about
really
that?
my first job with writing.
Okay.
Again, I knew from working in higher education and just from my schooling and going back to childhood, like, I knew I liked writing and had, I guess, some skills in that area and was encouraged to pursue that. I just never really did until all of a sudden God opened this door, and I decided, all right, well, let's see what's on the other side of this. And then, as much as I enjoyed working in higher ed, that job working as a content developer, kids content developer in ministry for my church, I was like, I feel like this is what I'm made to do, this kind of
Yes.
work. Like, I never knew it was possible to love a job as much as I loved that work there. So I did that full time for a few years before we started having kids. And then, as we were having more kids, it was getting trickier to be working. And I had done just some part-time work while having kiddos at the church. And then before our third daughter was born, I had been learning about the freelance writing world, and then decided to just pursue that, the flexibility with being home
Yeah.
full time, but being able to still do a little bit of the writing, and then the illustrating kind of then came once I was home and had more time. I was creating some free resources for family, for friends and things, and realized that I wanted them illustrated. Realized that if I hired an illustrator, it would eat up basically all of my budget. So I was like, well, I used to love drawing as a kid. I'd drawn a little bit here and there, of
Yeah.
course, for some things and throughout. But I was like, well, we'll just try this and see, and then yeah, just fell in
Yeah.
love all over again with drawing and creating the visual art.
You have, I just can't believe that you have the whole package. You're an illustrator, which is incredible, what you've done. And then you're so great with words, with writing, with rhyming. I mean, you have the whole package. That's brilliant. What would you say to someone listening to us right now that has a heart for creating content or working with someone who is creating content but doesn't know how to navigate like you have? Where would they start? Obviously they have the passion for it, but then what?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of different ways. Again, obviously my path was very non-linear into this area of work. Of course, um, it's social media, it's a love-hate kind of relationship that so many of us have. So proceed with caution, I will say, if you decide to go the social media route of getting connected with, but it can be a great place. Absolutely. There's amazing people putting work out on social media, whether that's Instagram or other Facebook, TikTok. There are great people out there. So that can be a great place to connect with others in the industry who are maybe a step or two beyond where you want to be. And then reaching out and trying to have a call. That was one of the things I did when I was interested in children's book publishing. I'd already been working at the church for a while, so I'd been working as a writer, but I found through Instagram, I looked up a children's book author that I was reading. I was reading her books to my kids. And so I
Wow.
found her on Instagram, sent her a DM, and was like, hey, would you ever be willing to like set up a call sometime? So then we connected, and she was able to
About
give me
that?
some help with editing, and then just went to a writers conference based on her recommendation too,
Oh,
and
that's great.
kind of just jumped into that whole world. So that's another thing too, is for writing specifically, there are a lot of great writers conferences out there that can be a wonderful investment, a great way to connect with people in real life, like
Yeah.
face to face, which is so valuable. And so that's another thing.
Okay.
And so those are a couple things. There's online courses. There's
Yeah.
with the illustrating. So I do my illustration work in an app called Procreate. So it's on my iPad, and it's really great. I really, really like it, but I had no idea what I was doing when I first started. So YouTube, free tutorials on YouTube are awesome.
Okay.
Like for that too. So yes, there are lots of different opportunities, but
Great.
community is so huge. So finding
Okay.
people you can connect with and talk to, and
If there's a lot of people watching us today that may have some creativity. They're at home that, just like, how do I could try it. Can they contact you? Is there a way to contact you to just say,
absolutely.
could you give me another step or whatever it is? Where would they find you?
Yeah. So probably the best way to get in touch with me would be through my website, and that's
Okay.
amandakjass.com. And I also am on Instagram. I'm not always great with DMs. I feel like I miss a lot. So you're welcome to contact me on Instagram. I'm sorry if I missed. So the best way, though, is through my website, because I see those emails come through.
AmandaKJoss.com.
And then there's a contact page, and then
Okay.
yeah.
Very good. Uh, my daughter, Lily Pearl Phillips, she's a tremendous illustrator.
Yes,
And,
she is.
but she, when I said, so I need you to help me with this book, she just said, I can't do illustrations. I think what I'm hearing her say is for sale or for, she said, I don't mind doing a little thing here and there, but I don't want to do mass production. I've tried to get her to do all kind of stuff, but kids won't listen to us. They won't listen to us.
Yeah. Yep. Kids.
So is there a fine line between I'm going to do this for a living versus I just want to do this for fun?
Absolutely. And that was something that I had to navigate too. Like with the writing, getting into the freelance writing, again, I had been writing as my career for a few years at that point once I got into the freelance world. But with illustrating, when I'd started to do that just for myself, that was something I really had to think about and process. Like, okay, I love doing this, but do I want to keep it as just a fun thing I kind of do for myself for the most part as really a hobby, or to put myself out there and be illustrating projects for other people.
Yeah.
And but ultimately, yeah, so that it's and even still, I still think about, again, with writing and illustrating, there are moments where it's like it's hard to be, and I'm very, like, my platform is very, very small compared to most people, but like having a public presence like that, there is a certain pressure with that. So it's something I still continue to pray about and bring before God. Like, okay, God, it's for me to start even working in this field. I will say, like, for example, back a handful of years ago when I wanted to pursue writing, specifically writing children's books, it was and still is, I would say, at least with traditional publishers, very important to have an online presence. Yeah. And that was something I was very, very hesitant. I did not want to do it. Yeah. I was like very strongly considering, like, well, if I do this, do I use a pseudonym? Do I do this or that? And would put my Instagram, put it on public, and then I'd get a few followers that I didn't know and freak out, and then put it on private again. But ultimately, though, like, for me, and I don't think for everybody, I think some people it is like God has given you this gift to enjoy, again, as a hobby or maybe just for friends and family. I don't think every creative is called to put their work out in the public space. But for me, it was I continually felt this strong prompting, not an audible voice or anything, but from God, like, okay, I'm asking you to do this, and kind of this, again, not audible, but this message from God where I felt like he's like, hey, I gave you life. Will you give me your name and trust me with your name to be able to, like, be Amanda K. Jass, like, to put my name out there and just to trust him with it. And so
I'm so glad you said yes.
Yeah. It's been a fun journey.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're amazing. As a songwriter, kind of addressing that, people would say to us, they'd hand me a song that they had written, and they said, here you go. God gave me this. And after I listened to it, I thought, well, there's a reason God gave it to you. He don't want it anymore. Have you ever watched your child struggle with making the right choice? I know I have, and that's one of the reasons I wrote Guppy and the Silvery Hook. It started as a story I used to tell my daughters at bedtime, and now I share it with my grandkids. It's about Guppy, a curious little fish who has to learn the importance of listening, trusting, and making wise choices when temptation comes swimming his way. The story is fun, beautifully illustrated, and your kids will love it. But even more, it opens the door for important conversations between you and your children. Conversations about wisdom, trust, and learning from mistakes. I'd love for you to experience Guppy and the Silvery Hook with your family. You can grab your copy today on Amazon. Start a storytime tradition your kids will remember and one that points them toward making wise choices for life. Oh, but
Oh man.
you're okay. So 30 years ago, when my daughter was born, my oldest daughter, then my younger daughter, I have two daughters, and I would tell them stories, the traditional stories, Goldilocks, Three Bears, all that stuff. And they'd get tired of those stories. And they'd say, give me a new story. Well, I just made one up. It was about a little fish who was curious, testing the boundaries. Adolescent fish, lived in a lake. Mom and Dad said, hey, Guppy. They called him Guppy. I call him Guppy. Guppy, it was about temptation and the things that our kids experience. And the parents said to him, beware of hooks with a worm on them and they'll catch you. And of course, he tests the boundaries with some peers. And he gets caught, but as he was let go, he swims back down to his parents and says, oh, I made a terrible mistake. I didn't listen to you. I got caught, which a lot of us do get caught. Caught. And then always do what your parents tell you to do. That was the story. Some years later, many years later, I have two grandkids now. I would tell them the story about Guppy. But I hadn't, really not any, it's a story I tell my kids, grandkids. So I decided with my assistant, Jill, who's been amazing, let's make a book out of this. And I've got just the person for you. Who? Amanda Jass. I'm like, okay, fine. Let's see what she can do. So she connected us. I told you the story. And what you did with that story, oh my goodness, Amanda, you're amazing.
Oh, well,
You're
I
amazing.
absolutely I fell in love with the story when when you are really through Jill, and Jill's wonderful. Oh, I love
Yes, she is
her as well.
wonderful.
So she's so great. But sent me this story that, again, like you said, you told your kids and now your
Yeah,
grandkids.
yeah.
And I just thought, wow, this needs to be a children's book, and I want to be part of it.
Well, we did it, and here it is. It's called Guppy, and you called it the Silvery Hook, which I loved. I was, the person that catches Guppy on the Silvery Hook was a little boy, and you said, no, that can't be a little boy. It's got to be a little bear, and that was so terrific. But you know what? Your illustrations, it's just so good. So good.
Oh,
I love it all. And there's a few little things you put in there. What do they call the little surprises, the little Easter eggs?
Please strikes. Yes.
I didn't know what an Easter egg was. I thought I did. You collect them at church and try
Right.
to eat them. But
Like, wait, where the colorful? I don't see the colorful eggs on there
yeah,
yet.
where's the egg?
Little
But
surprises.
there's little eggs and little Easter eggs, and there's cute people to. But I just want to thank you for making this dream come true for me, Guppy and the Silvery Hook. You do a lot of books. You're part of a lot of people's lives. Was there anything about this Guppy that you kind of resonated with?
When I first saw, again, the story that you'd sent along, it reminded me just of like stories that I grew up with, but obviously different. It just felt like, again, that's something, this needs to be a children's book. Like, this is so good, but kind of like the Aesop's fables,
Yeah.
the anthropomorphizing, I'm probably saying that wrong, but with like the talking fish, talking animals. Like,
Yeah.
I just thought it was so fun and creative, but just such a great way to teach kids a very important lesson, and not just the lesson of, like you mentioned, like listening to your parents, and because parents are very wise, and there's so much
They are
media
wise.
out there today where parents are just portrayed as kind of like idiots and they don't know
Yes.
anything, right? A lot of these shows kids are watching, and some of
Yeah.
that, I mean, some of that maybe is harmless, like to an extent, like a little bit, like, but I don't know. It's kind of gotten to an extreme, I feel like, where it's like, ooh, I don't know. This has to be impacting our kids, especially if they're watching a ton of that kind of stuff. So um, I liked this where, yeah, it shows the parents, they actually know what they're talking about.
They
And then it
do.
brings in, yeah, they do. And then, yeah, like being a mom now, I'm like, yeah, it's like, oh, to my parents, like, I'm sorry, I get it now.
I know. I'm so
Oh, you'll
sorry.
understand when you're a parent. Like, I understand now.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, and then the peer pressure that is,
Mhm.
I mean, certainly I faced as a kid. I know, like, we all kids face, I mean, even as adults are facing peer
Yeah.
pressure in different ways. So incorporating that into it.
Mhm.
And honestly, I didn't, it's just like a real time revelation for me. I didn't realize this until you were talking about it just now. But I think another thing why I really, like, immediately when this was brought to me, this story, like, yeah, I want to take this on, was because I felt like it's like me. Like I
Oh
was
my.
Guppy, you know, that kid,
I'm
and they get so many
I'm
buttons,
telling my own story. It's
right?
an autobiography.
Oh, I was just like, that's why. Like, man, like, you know, my parents always like say like all these things. Obviously, my parents aren't perfect. No parents are perfect, but
Yeah.
giving me wise advice and me just having to question it and going around
I
and asking,
know.
well, are you sure? I don't know. I think I need to, I don't know, maybe I'll try that. And then by the grace of God getting caught and, like, you know,
Yes.
and getting to a point of like really truly repenting, and not
Mhm.
that I'm perfect by any means these days, but I've come
Yeah.
a long way since my kind of rebellious youth, I
Yeah.
guess. So I don't know. It has a really special place in my
Well,
heart.
thank
And
you.
this, I don't even know if you know, you maybe do, but this is actually the very first children's book that I illustrated. So
What?
yeah, yeah. So I have another one that I've
Wow.
been working on that comes out soon as well. But this is the very first one. Again, I've illustrated my own
Oh my
projects and done
goodness.
some other little illustration
Well, you did
work for
so
hire things. But
good.
thank
Oh,
you.
I love the expressions on these. Look at it. There's the little bear.
There's the
There's
big.
the bear.
I
You
just
did a
didn't want
great
any
job.
little boys to be reading the story and like feeling bad
No,
for fishing, feeling like, oh no, I can't go fishing because
I
I'm gonna
know.
catch a guppy. It's
That
like,
was a
let's talk
great,
about
great
making this a bear,
catch.
and I love that you were on board with that. So,
Yes, I love it. Everything you did was a big upgrade from where I was. But
oh,
the fear I have about kids is they won't get caught.
yeah.
And I think getting caught, as painful as that is, for me and you, and for all of us, we know the Silvery Hook, whatever that takes on for all of us, the temptation that the Bible talks about. Uh, but I thank God that I got caught. Uh, I should have listened to my parents more, but we're gonna push those boundaries, figure out
Mhm.
our own identities. But I just thank God for the times I got caught, and it brought me back to repentance and humility and asking God to give me another shot. That's what I love about the Lord, man. There's so many things.
Mhm.
He just says, "Come on, let's try this again.
Yep. You tried
Let
this
me
on
get
your
you off
own.
this hook.
Yeah.
Let me
Clearly, this
get you
did
off
not
this
work.
hook. This did not work. You're like,
This
let's try
did
this
not
again."
work. Yeah, but it's his love that
Yeah,
will, yeah,
so much love.
yeah. So right, it is.
And I
It's
loved when Guppy, of course, I don't want to spoiler alert, but when he gets unhooked, comes back to his parents. I love how you set the tone for that reunion, for that, not condemning, just, it's okay, Guppy, we got this. We'll try this again. I love
Mhm.
that, how you put parents in that light. Not unlike Jesus did, when he said, "My father is like this." He had two boys. One of them goes and breaks his heart. gets caught by the hook.
Yep.
So many hooks in that story. So
Mhm.
many hooks, like a trot line.
Right, right.
But when he comes home, where is his dad? He's waiting. He's looking down that long road. Is this the day my boy comes home? And when he came home, he didn't condemn him, convict him. He just said, man, you know, the
Grant's
thing
right
about
here.
hooks, Amanda, hooks have their own built-in pain. And you don't need somebody else to pile on. You just need somebody to say, it's okay, Guppy. Let's try this again.
Mhm. Yeah. Right. And I think, yeah, because Guppy in the store, like he did feel sorry. He learned
Oh,
his
he did.
lesson
Yeah,
very much so, where
yeah,
you're right, it might look a little different in parenting where if the kid doesn't show any remorse or like, hey, yeah, it's fine, but yeah, Guppy clearly he
yeah,
apologized and he meant it.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you for helping me create this book. Dream come true for me. And if you want
Thank
to get this
you for
book,
letting me be part of it.
uh,
Wow, what an honor. Like truly, I just
you
yeah,
took it
and
to the
and
to another level.
well, and
If
like for me growing up with you and your music and
Oh yeah,
like
when
it
you were a
was
little girl, right? Little girl,
little baby. No.
baby.
No, no.
I was talking to Jill, my assistant, who put us together, and she was mentioning a song that she really loved us sang. And I said, "Well, how old were you when you heard that song?" She says, "I was in elementary school." Elementary school, dear Lord.
Elementary
Okay.
school.
Well,
Yeah.
if you want to get this book, Guppy, you can go to Amazon. Amazon, you can pre-order the book, get the book. Uh, I hope you'll get it because Amanda and I love it so much. It'll help you as a parent. It'll help your kids to discover some lesson. There's discussion questions at the end and a prayer that you can read, but I hope you'll get it. Amanda, one of your titles is Ghost Writer, which sounds kind of spooky to me. We got
Right.
Halloween coming up before too long, depending on when you're watching this. But what's a ghostwriter?
So it is somebody who generally is hired as usually a work for hire kind of freelance role to help somebody write their book or write an article or write something that would go under someone else's name. So
Yeah.
or an organization's name. A lot of times, yeah, another person's name.
Is there sometimes when your name's not mentioned at all? It's just like
Yeah,
Guppy
yeah,
by
I've done
Randy
some
Phillips.
ghostwriting
Way
projects.
back there's Amanda Jass.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've done a couple children's books. That yeah, my name isn't
Does that
anywhere.
bother you?
I would say it doesn't really bother me. It bothers my girls though, which is funny because I got copies of these books and they're looking for your name. Like, wait, where's your name? It's not on here. And
Yeah.
well, I'm a ghostwriter for it. And in the contract, it didn't say anything about needing to include my name anywhere. And they paid me money to write this. But my, especially my oldest, our 9-year-old, was just like appalled by that.
I know.
Like, what?
Well,
Like and it is, I mean,
there's your
see
name right here.
yes. So yeah, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. I know there are some writers who absolutely like wouldn't even I think take on a project if their name isn't credited, whether it's on the front or at least
Yeah.
in interior. It yeah, it is kind of strange, especially if you don't know anything about the writing world. But I will say, like, it does, like, I get that it seems weird, and there is like that element of like, oh, yeah, it does seem a little strange, but it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Really. So I'm not opposed to taking on projects necessarily if they were the right project in the future. It's been a little bit since I've done a true like ghost
Yeah.
writing project where it's truly I'm a ghost. But yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's an interesting field, but I think it's also a really cool way to get a message out there for people who they have a story to tell, they have
Yep.
a message, and whether if it's like writing children's books, they don't normally speak to children, or it is. Some people are like, writing children's books must just be so easy, and
Mm.
there, yeah, it's. I will say it's a challenge because I mean I love it and it's really fun for me to do, but you have such a limited word count that you're trying to get this message
Yeah,
across. And so
I
every
know.
single word matters. Like I even remember
And
with
to
Guppy.
take big, complicated ethical issues and bring them down to an understandable level for a child. That's where
Right.
you were just brilliant in
Oh,
this book that we
well, thank
wrote
you so much.
together.
Yeah, and it's yeah, take and that's what I love. Like in writing stuff for kids, it's yes, we take these big concepts
Mhm.
and write it in a way that it's not like it's dumbing it down or watering it down, but yes, making it like you said, making it understandable for
Yes.
kids, writing it in a language that they can process and relate to and understand. So anyway, with the ghostwriting, yeah, there's people who aren't trained in writing for kids
Mhm.
that want to write a children's book, or for other people who write adult books. Again, they have a message and want
Yeah.
to get it out there, but can't without a ghostwriter. So I think it's really a really great thing, and I feel honored to be a ghostwriter, even for the
Well, you're
project again where
terrific.
my name isn't mentioned. I feel like I still feel honored to be part of
Yeah.
it. So, yeah.
So if you're watching right now, you've got an idea for a book. Let me recommend Amanda as a ghostwriter or a co-writer with you. She has the right to accept the project or turn it down, of course. Uh, but
Mm.
you'll get her information here in just a moment. You know, Amanda, I was thinking about as we were talking, I want to wrap up here, but I've kept you long enough. But I was thinking about God, how
Mm.
he spoke the worlds into existence, just his words, every star, every galaxy. I mean, everything that we see, he spoke into being with his words. And then he comes to earth in the form of Jesus Christ. And what does he do? What is his communication method for expressing God on earth? Stories. He
Stories,
told
yeah.
stories.
Yes.
He didn't write a
Exactly.
book. He just told stories.
Mhm.
And it's changed all of our life. So if he could tell
Absolutely.
stories, you can too.
Mm.
Uh, all of you have ideas. You should explore those ideas. And somebody like Amanda can help maybe refine it for you. But Amanda, thank you for your time today. You've been outstanding.
Oh, thank you so much, Pastor Randy. This has been so
You're
fun,
you're
and I
great.
just yeah love your ministry and
Thank
love this
you.
book. Love Guppy. Yes, so go get it. Go order it.
Guppy, Guppy. Okay, maybe we'll sell enough to pay for it.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Yes, I
All
know.
right.
Sometimes, yes, this industry is not always
Yeah.
the most lucrative, but
No,
hey,
no,
we're getting
but
yes
it's good.
joy into
Thank
the hands of kids, the love of Jesus out into the world. So
Lord bless you, Amanda. Bye
thank
bye.
you. Me too.